everyone and welcome to my channel. Today we're just going to make a little iPhone for our dolls. Oops, that way up, sorry. So all I've done is I've taken my little iPhone, took a picture of it. I will put it up online so you can print it off, and then I've cut it out, okay? And then I've taken a lollipop stick, okay, and these are the jumbo size ones, and I've just measured my piece of paper onto it, and you want it to be just a tiny bit bigger than what you've got. Now this isn't the right one, this is the right one here. I'll cut that out again in a minute. So you want it to be just a tiny bit bigger. I'm really sorry about my hands, I've washed them about 5 times. I will go and do it again after I painted this stuff. So I'm just going to come across with my scissors and cut that off. Now this one's split, but if you notice it's splitting, just move along. I'll just cut it again. I'll just cut it again. If you do notice that it starts to split, just move along your stick and do another one, because these are so cheap it doesn't really matter. You've got plenty of stick there to work with. You don't really want it to split. So that's that one. That one's fine, there's no split on that side, and hopefully I can do this one without splitting it. I just measured it above the size of the printable iPhone I've got. Then I took it to my piece of sanding block and I just sanded it all over, because you don't want any sharp ends, especially if it's being used by children. So I did that, and then to get my corners I just went on the corner like that, and as you can see you've got a nice round corner like you would have on your phone. Okay, and I'll do that on all 4 corners and make sure that all the sides and everything, there's no bits where you could get a splinter from. So this is the piece which we've just done, and I've done another piece here as well. This one is just slightly over 6 centimeters. And you see it's just the tiniest little bit over 6 centimeters, and that fits that on there perfectly. And you want the other one to come so it's just slightly smaller, so I've made that one 5.5 centimeters. In inches, that one is 2.25, and that one is just under 2.5. Okay, now you don't have to do this back piece, you can just have your phone like this and just have it so that the dolls can have it like this. The reason I'm going to do it like this is because I'm going to put a piece of elastic onto the back. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our paintbrush, and I'll do this and I'll go and wash my hands because it's a bit messy, and we're going to go all the way around the outside of both pieces of wood. And then we're going to do the front of one of them both, and I needed to do mine 2 coats. Okay, right, so I'll do the same to that one there and that one. And what I did was, just to speed it up a little bit, was I took my heat gun. If you haven't got one of these heat guns, you can just wait for it to dry, it doesn't take very long, but I put the heat gun on it, and that's it, it's dry. Okay, so I would do that on both of those 2 pieces, and then I'll come back. And then you need to turn them over, and on the larger one at the 2, you just need to go around the side to make sure that when you put your picture on the front, that those side bits, those tiny side bits which are there, have got paint on them. So you need to do that. Can you see there's just tiny side bits here which are part of the wood, so you need to just paint that and dry that as well. Okay, I'll paint them both and I'll come back. So I've just started cutting out the phone itself, and I'm just cutting it around. I don't want that black outside line on it, I want to cut all that away because it's a bit glary, it's not black all over. I'm just very carefully going around and cutting it out. There we go. Now, so I'm just going to stick a piece of tape over the top of the piece of paper first. So the first thing I'm going to do is just put that on there. You want a reasonably clear surface to do this, you don't want loads of bits and pieces. And what you're hoping to is not get any air bubbles in it as you put it down. And so the really good thing to do is just to go right over it with your thumb and press out any air bubbles that might have got into it. We're not using this to stick it with. We're going to use glue for that. We're going to come around now and we're going to cut off with our scissors, and as you can see I managed to get myself covered in black paint again. And the paint is really hard to get off, and I've been really scrubbing. So this is like the third time I've managed to cover myself in black paint, because I've done a Barbie one and I've done a this one will fit the Glitter Girls, the Welly Wishers and the Disney Princess dolls, that sort of size dolls. The larger one will fit the 18-inch dolls, any 18-inch dolls. And I'm going to do a tiny one in a minute, and I'll show that to you later on, for Barbies. Okay, and then I'm going to stick it onto the larger of the two pieces, just like that. And I'm using some Gorilla Glue, and I'm just going to put glue all over the back. Don't get this on your clothes. I put an apron on because I knew I was painting, and I am a very messy person. So I've just got glue all over the back of there. Alright, put that out of the way. Okay, and I want to get this as central as I can, and I want to be showing about the tiniest little bit, and it will slide to start off with. Okay, and so just pop that on there like that. There you go. Okay, so that is on. There we go. So there's the front of it. So now we've got this piece, and we're going to stick this on the back with a piece of elastic on it. So I've just cut a piece of elastic just larger than the size of my back. Okay, this is my back, the smaller of the two pieces, and I've put a piece of glue on each end onto the actual elastic. And then I'm going to put a piece of glue on here. Now I'm using a Gorilla Glue because it's a really good glue, but you could use a fabric glue if you wanted to. And then what I'm going to do is just press that down, and I've got myself a tiny piece of duct tape here, and I want to put it on so it's going right across that back there, so that it holds that in place whilst we're sticking it all together. And then I'm going to pull it back from the edge because I don't want it showing, and cut it off. There you go. So you've just got that piece in there, and do exactly the same with the other side, and just check that your elastic is laying reasonably flat along there. Okay, and stick your piece of duct tape on that end. I do want it on the back, but I don't want it, I want to leave myself a little bit on each side so I can put plenty of glue onto it. So done that piece. So the next thing I want to do is put glue all over the back of this, because I want, this is what's going to stick to the back of my phone, and this is going to be so that the dolls can hold it. Right, so I'm just going to pop that on the top, like I'm really having one of those days. I'm just going to pop that on the top like that. Okay, I'm just going to clean my hands a minute because I'm really sticky and I'm sticking to everything. So whilst that's all clipped together and it's drying, I've got some little clips, and I've got them reasonably near the edge so that it's pushing everything together. So I'm hoping that will get it all stuck down and it'll all stay in nice and neat together. So it's all finished. So there you are. So there's your little phone. Okay, so we have a phone for our generation's 18-inch ones. We have a phone for the Welly Wishers, and we have a phone for the Barbie dolls. What I'm going to do is wait for those to dry, give them another half an hour, and I'll come back and I'll show you what they look like. So I just wanted to show you the acrylic paint I used. I just used a plain black acrylic paint like that, and here are all the dolls. So Raphael is on the phone. I don't know who he's talking to. He's having a really long chat. Barbie is very interested in her phone. I think she's calling somebody up. And Bluebell is so excited because for her birthday she got an iPhone, and she's really, really excited, and she's showing everybody what she's got. So she's very excited about that, for having a phone for her birthday present. just to show you how we've fastened them, and that works really well. It's held really tightly with the wire and the elastic. Just show you bluebells as well. There you go. Okay, so that works really well on their hands. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Goodbye.